Alright. All good. Okay. Yeah. Welcome everyone, and then to game number 1 between Suomi A and GamerLegion A. This is going to take place in Arena Session, so you don't have to worry too much about us jumping into the game a little bit later, because it's fine. It's Arena after all, even if it's a slightly different flavor of Arena, so it's most likely going to be a long game, and it's most likely not really going to have too much action too early on in any case. So taking a look at these civilizations and starting on starting at the south over here, what do we have? We have TheMax playing with Teutons. We have JorDan playing with Poles. And that means that, well, they're gonna be facing each other. And JorDan with Teutons will get 33% cheaper farms. They're gonna have also, actually 40% cheaper farms. They're gonna have also the ability to garrison 5 and 10 villages inside TCs and towers. Actually, towers and TCs, where they can shoot potentially up to 4 and 5 extra arrows. On top of that, Teutons will also have 4 extra healing range on monks, as well as 1 and 2 extra melee armor on barracks and stables. Barracks and stable units actually in the castle and Imperial Ages. And besides that, they also get free murder holes, they get free herbal medicines. While for the team bonus, finally, we'll see that Teutons also get conversion resistance. They give conversion resistance to the team. Meanwhile, on the right hand side, JorDan playing with Poles instead will have villages that regenerate HP, 5, 10, 15, and 20 HP per minute. We're gonna get on top of that for Poles the access to fall work as opposed to mills. And they will also get stone miners who can collect 0.5 units of gold per each unit of stone that they mine. So I'm just noticing now that for whatever reason the game sound is not coming through, so we'll enable bets in a moment. Give me a moment. Let me see why this is not coming through, and I guess it kind of makes sense. 1 second. Audio devices. Audio. Desktop audio. Should be this. Okay, now it should be working, I think. Can you hear the game sounds now? Surprisingly good amount of people casting this at this time. Juan Perotti, Wayne Shang, and the Viper as of now. Okay, perfect. Thank you guys, and thank you, Kyoto. The Viper is the only guy who's casting this in English, right? Yeah, okay. I'll reach out. We'll see if the snake bites. I'll just lay the bait there. Regardless though, we're taking a look at the civilizations over here. We talked about Turks, we actually talked about Teutons, we talked about Poles a little bit. One thing that we did not mention for Poles is the fact that they get for the team bonus 1 bonus damage from Scoutland units against Archer type units. Besides that, and by the way, his capture H's sound good. Selection also should be above 50%. I think this is good. Besides that, I think we mentioned everything, right? The stone miners, the villagers. Yeah, it's all good. Up north instead, we're gonna see for TaToH Turks, and we're gonna see for Villese Turks. So for both these players towards the north, with TaToH on the right hand side and Villese on the left hand side, we have, first off, 20% faster working gold miners, which is great. On top of that, we also have 25% extra HP on gunpowder units. We are going to get for Turks also. They get chemistry for free. They're going to have a 50% discount on gunpowder upgrades as well. As I believe for Turks, we will also have for them as a civilization the light cavalry and Hussar upgrades for free, as well as 1 extra pierce armor on those units. And then I think that's for the most part it. Then for the team bonus, they'll also get 25% actually faster training gunpowder units, but that's gonna be about it. And it's usually a civilization you're gonna want to play for a fast castle drop into Janissary kind of play, or straight fast imp into bombard cannons and potentially hand cannoneer, which can also work pretty well. But those are things that I have seen. Fast imping is something that I have not really seen too much of very recently, and over here I have seen for the most part just fast castle into full pressure. And because we have poles down south, I'm kind of curious as to what the Max's strategy is over here. It certainly seems like he's just gonna try to straight fast castles. He's gonna up on 23 villagers, he's going for a market and a blacksmith. So we'll check. He will cast soon, I think. Okay, that'll be good. When I was waiting for the game to begin, they were... Actually, Neely, I think he had just hopped into a game. So we'll see. If Viper doesn't get back to us by game number 2, I would certainly love to ask Neely. I probably would have gone for Neely first, actually, if I knew he was going to cast. There we go. Mostly because I think it'll probably be a little bit easier. Neely versus Vinch. Poor Neely. That's how you keep yourself in check, you know? That's how you keep yourself on your toes, improving all the time. Neil said he can only be on for a couple more hours. That should be fine. I think this should be over before Battle Africa begins. Oh man, tonight, I'll tell you, I'm probably going to end up sleeping like 12 hours. Might not be able to cast the whole thing. I guess it really depends on how long the set is, right? Well, we can still go for it. Nice push. Oh, good job. GamerLegion ended up taking 1. Scout. Huh. Interesting. I'm starting to notice right now some starters that I hadn't noticed before. I wonder what that is about. Anyway. Castle Leech here. Your prediction? My prediction? Honestly, I feel GamerLegion are feeling a little bit more confident over here. So I'm just going to say 3-2 in favor of GamerLegion. The reason for that is because Suomi are going for 2 Nomad style maps for their home maps. And to be fair, they are very good at Nomad style maps. That is true. But then it also introduces a little bit of RNG. There's only 1 restart over here per team, and having like 2 Nomad start maps for your home maps could potentially backfire. I feel like it's going to be a little bit better for GamerLegion otherwise, playing standard maps, but we'll see. To be fair, of course, Suomi are also pretty proficient on arena style maps, so I guess we'll see. And let's enable predictions before I keep on forgetting. I still need to finish setting up my computer, and I notice now that it seems like I have some mouse acceleration feature on or something. Anyway, option 1 will be GamerLegion. Option 2 will be Suomi. You guys have... Yeah, about 5 minutes is fine. Even if we already have military production coming up right away. With Janissaries on the way. 5 minutes should be not game ending. Or shouldn't be game ending. We'll see. Suomi 3-1. Oh, alright. Nice pick over here. JorDan ends up losing the scout. And here come the Janissaries from TaToH. He's got a monk coming out already. Fantastic. Is the microphone working alright as well? Are you noticing any like humming or any noise issues in the background? I'm not really sure. Do let me know about those things, and I'll try to fix it for sure. Everything fine? Okay, thank you. Yesterday we were having a little bit of humming. It's about time for me to replace this dusty old thing. We'll probably end up setting up a donation goal or something. Holy moly, carpets! Yeah. We have a beautiful statue here as well. Here come the Janissaries now from Villese as well. They're going to meet TaToH's Janissaries. We have the same amount over here for sure, although TaToH had the 4, Janissaries 4 a little bit sooner. We might see the 5th coming in coming in a little bit sooner for TaToH as well. Definitely going to be very, very even. TaToH should be better than Poles, no? Yes, on a map like this, yes, they're going to have a much better late game, for instance. What Poles get, and I remember discussing this, I think last time around that we saw this map with Poles on, is that Poles actually can get a very strong Castle Age. Because they can get a castle up, they can go for overproduction, but most importantly, they can go for Schlachta privileges from the castle, which allows you to train knights significantly cheaper. However, that usually works on Arena at every level except the very top level. At the very top level, Poles are actually not very good in Arena, and Titans are going to be just so much better. It usually works much better at low to high elos, but not expert level. Like especially clowns. Clowns are not going to favor Poles too much. Definitely not over Titans, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, the fact that Jordan right now is going for 4 TCs quite clearly indicates he'll be trying to just play for the late game, which I don't know, man. They're not the best. Once again, they don't get, you know, play bar than armor. They only top off at Cavalier. Titans, on the other hand, are gonna have 2 extra melee armor Paladin with play bar than armor. And a much, you know, on paper, stronger economy. If you play your cards right, they get cheaper farms. Good trade. So far, it's gone definitely better for TaToH. You can see over here 4 kills already for the green Janissaries. Oh, and Jordan got picked up here. TheMax already knows about this. He's sending a villager forward. He'll try to get the walls up himself. Well, probably. Jordan now kind of has to rush the walls over here, a little bit closer home. There we go. This is beautiful. Up north, once again, looking much, much better for TaToH. Well, I wouldn't say much, much better, but he's managed to get the best trade so far. If they go for Cavalier, their main selling point is gold won't run out anywhere soon, but not sure that's right. True. Hey, Mulberry Boy, already up? Yes, and Sleep Deprived coming straight to your door for some quality Age of Empires games with some low quality commentary from the Sleep Deprived caster. So far good, so good though. For game number 1, both Suomi players should be, actually both GamerLegion players, sorry, should be on their way to the Imperial Age very soon. However, TheMax has gone up so much faster, or he's clicked up so much sooner. He's only 1 minute away from the Imperial Age. When you compare that to his opponent Jordan over here, he's taking so much longer to go up. Oh, what is that? Okay, let me actually just remove that. Anyway. Yeah, still better for TaToH for sure. Now we have more numbers for Villese, to be fair, but TaToH's unit control has been impeccable. Max sneaking, yeah. The stable actually came up, but I have a hard time seeing Jordan be affected by this. He already knows about this, so we should see the walls coming up and he will go for it. And Seahorse Gallop, thanks so much for the resub. It's very much appreciated. Welcome, welcome to the stream once again. And thank you so much. 20 months already. Only 4 months away from 2 full years. Who would have thought? Well done. There we go. Beautiful. Now Villese and the Max are pushing these Janissaries away, and TaToH does not have the lead over here in kills anymore. Plus this castle's getting the knife from TaToH. Oh boy, this is starting to look really good for Suomi. Not only do they have the first play in the Imperial Age with Cavalier about to finish researching from the Max, but now they have managed to push TaToH away. They have managed to prevent the castle from coming up as well. And what is the plan for Jordan? He's got one castle. He's going for Obuch. He's got the second castle coming up as well. I don't know, man. I don't know if Obuch over here will be strong enough. I honestly don't think he'll be able to do too much with that alone. Especially with Villese having so many freaking Janissaries over here. This is going to be like one of the strongest range units in the game, full stop. Then you pair that up with some of the strongest soon-to-be Paladin units in the game as well, and Suomi are looking so much better. You take a look at GamerLegion for army composition, for army numbers as well. It's kind of rough, not gonna lie, and honestly kind of glad that the predictions are over at this point already. Otherwise it will be too one-sided for Suomi, I think. There we go. Teutonic Knights versus Obuch. Who wins? I'm pretty sure the Teutonic Knights still win. But Obuch are one of the strongest units for Teutonic Knights because they just nerf the TTK so much by reducing armor. It takes a while though. Because the armor for Teutonic Knights is so high, actually it takes a bunch for the Obuch to actually remove it. One thing that Obuch do have though, going for them, is production speed, which is actually pretty fast. Oh man, Villese already in the Imperial Age, can go for bombard cannons right away. Like he's just got into the Imperial Age. Hey, is this actually... Huh. I don't remember having disabled that. The units and tech production thing over here. I wonder if Capture saved some of my settings on the cloud or something. Anyway, here comes the push, guys. Suomi's got a much larger military count. They have a much higher villager count as well, a much stronger economy, pushing a much stronger military. About 10 seconds for Paladin to finish researching as well for the Max. Meanwhile, down south, he wasn't really able to do too much. He only has one Paladin over here inside the stable, and he already got spotted, so Jordan got the walls up over here. With this castle, is gonna be taking the stables down as well, and quite clearly Max won't be able to get any damage done over there, but it doesn't mean that he won't be able to get any damage done at all. Here come the Paladin, and these Obuch get pushed away. Jordan's got a 4th castle coming up already to increase his production potential by 33%. There we go. He's trying to take advantage of the choke point to fight against the Paladin, but it's not going to work. Here come the Janissaries. And this is not the best position for GamerLegion at all. They'll get cleaned up. Plus with 3 bombard cannons, that castle's not going to change much at all, guys. 4 bombard cannons. Max gotta defend these bombard cannons, or Villese's gotta do it. Villese's going to take care of yeah, the Obuch on his own by the looks of it. Yeah. He's surviving with the bombard cannons over here. Yep, he saves all of them, even the 4 HP one. Beautiful. Good defense over here for TaToH, but it's not going to really help Jordan too much. The Paladin are just coming over. And with this economy that the Max has already set up for him, it shouldn't be too hard for them to keep on sustaining Paladin production. Now, one thing they'll have to think about is trading potentially. So notice how TaToH actually, with a very, very nice foresight, he actually sent a villager over to try and wall Villese to try and prevent Suomi from getting the trade set up. But Suomi was able to deny that. So that's going to be GG coming out right there for TaToH and for Jordan. Well played. And Suomi will end out taking game number 1. So we have, of course, at the very least 2 more games to go for. We'll see what we get for game number 2. It's going to be one of GamerLegion's home maps. So let's go and take a look at the achievements real quick. What do we get over here? We're going to have, first off, a better KD for TheMax+Villese, approaching 2-1 for Villese, a little bit higher than 7-4. Meanwhile, for TheMax, he managed to get a better than 2-1 KD ratio. And for economy, I don't think it was particularly close. We need to take a look at aggregate over here, and we need to take a look at this. There we are, and we need to take a look at total resources collected. Economy population, nah. All resources collected, yeah, there we go. Let's save this. Yeah. So you can see economy was significantly higher for Suomi throughout the game. For military, on the other hand, we're also going to do something similar too. We're going to do military population, which is good, like this already. Fantastic. And for society, we already have villager count, so that's great. All right, let's go back. But TaToH is loading up right now. It's actually working again, and we can go into it, but it's so weird. So the way the workaround goes is I have to basically disconnect my internet and then launch Age of Empires with Steam set up in offline mode, and then I have to launch TaToH and make sure the TaToH does not connect to the internet, and then it can detect Age of Empires. If my computer has internet connectivity, it doesn't detect Age of Empires, so I cannot use it. It's so weird. At the very least, there is a workaround now, and I'm not gonna have to just use the in-game spectating mode, which is not ideal. But yeah, this is such a relief, guys. It's been so rough every time that I had to restore my stream, and then I had to just basically kill the stream, end the stream, and start a new one because of the audio issues. Now that it's actually working, it's so good. And I'm kind of wondering if it was something related to the configuration I had on my PC before. I'm not really sure. To be honest, I still have not finished setting up OBS. I just have all the basics that I need to stream today, but there is so much left to do. I'm gonna have to take a look at that, but regardless, well, what do we get over here? We're gonna have Costa Giotto, and on the left-hand side, Jordan is playing alongside TaToH. Jordan will be the flank player, and he's playing with Ethiopians, interestingly enough. Now, Ethiopians will give him 18% faster attack on archer units, as well as 100 extra food and 100 extra gold upon reaching a new age. We're gonna have also for Ethiopians... Oh, wait a moment. Hunters under attack, just probably the elephant, right? Yeah, the scout over here. Ah, Max is being annoying. Jordan's trying to send another villager. Interesting. But yeah, besides that, we'll see also the pipeline upgrade for free for Ethiopians, and then we'll see for the team bonus also 3 extra line of sight on outposts and towers. For TaToH playing with Lithuanians instead, he'll begin with 150 extra food, which ironically is going to make it significantly easier for you to actually go and start getting them food earlier, even if it's not extra wood, still going to allow you to shuffle your economy in such a way that you can still go and contest water a little bit sooner. Besides that, we'll see for Lithuanians also 10% faster movement skirm and spear line units. We're gonna have besides that for... Let's check. We're gonna have besides that for Lithuanians also... Oh, wait a moment though! The Max is coming forward already with Berbers. This is very, very important. But yeah. Beautiful. Besides that, we're gonna have for Lithuanians also 1 extra attack on Knights and Light Chain units per each relic garrison up to 4 relics, and for the team bonus 20% faster working. Oh! Jordan tried to delete the palisade. He ended up deleting the villager. 30% faster working monsters, which makes it a little bit easier for you to try and go and get the relics you need to maximize the attack on your units. But this is really good. So let's move over straight to Suomi and talk about these civilizations. In the max plane with Berbers over here, should have seen it coming. If you guys saw the civilizations as soon as the game began, you probably expected the max to be going for something like this. Berbers are very commonly picked on maps with this player setup in which they start on a line as opposed to equidistant from each other, right? And it's very interesting because this way we are going to see Berbers utilize their 10% faster movement villager bonus to go forward and harass, engage into vill boxing. And in this position, I really feel like I should have unlocked already the vill boxing mod from the Vill Vacation event. But yeah, he's sending more as well, and this is like a very, very common thing to do for Berbers on a map like this. And I was not expecting the Max to be the one to go for it. Usually he's gonna be the one playing pocket. Instead, that's going to be Vilese's role this game around. Yeah, playing with Burgundians. So let's actually take a look at resources to see if the Max will be able to TC drop. Yes, he will be able to, and he's going for it, guys! Check this out! He's managed to already trap a villager over here, plus he's getting the TC up over there. Beautiful. Honestly, would probably have preferred this TC to actually come up a little bit further away from this one, so that he would still have been able to target the villager. But it's good. It's good anyway. And yeah, he's going for the douche already. You know, the only way in which this actually works out is if he manages to disrupt Jordan enough to offset for his own economy disruption that he got by sending all the villagers forward and going for the douche, right? So what does Jordan do, and what should he do? He's going up to the fuel H, and it seems to me like he will get there. Yeah, it's going to take more than 1 minute for that TC to go down. So Jordan will get to the fuel H. He's got to get enough resources so that he can get a TC up once again. Once he does so, he can potentially go for a few palaces around the TC to make sure the Max does not douche him again. But yeah. Beautiful. TaToH hit the fuel H already. Alright, perfect. I think my mouse should be working nice. Now once again, yeah, I disabled acceleration. Perfect. Was actually bugging me quite a bit. But there we go. Jordan's going for the TC, and the Max, well, so far hasn't really managed to get much done with the douche. He's gonna try and douche TaToH over here. I would imagine he kinda has to go for it. In the end, we haven't really talked too much about the civilizations for Suomi. There's no time for that. But yeah, in a nutshell, the Max will be coming forward and he will be putting so much pressure over here, while Villese will just be trying to play for economy, and of course with Burgundians he should be able to. Once he gets to the castle H, he's already going to get a fantastic power spike by getting access to Cavalier. So I have not enabled predictions for game number 3, have I? There we go! The Max is going right up against TaToH. Now, this is not the best douche that I have seen, to be honest. We'll enable predictions for game number 2 still, even if we are already 12 minutes into the game, basically because this does not mean that the game is over, so you go on and bet. But yeah, this is not the best douche that I have seen. Usually you want to try and prevent the villagers from walking away so that you can actually collect after you get the TC up, right? But over here, the most he'll be able to do is take TaToH's TC down, and then TaToH should be able to go for a TC elsewhere. He doesn't have the resources for it right now, but he should be able to get enough in a moment. Should the goats? I'm really sure he actually has range. I don't think he does. So nice that he takes all the wood. It's something. It's some damage. It's some disruption. I don't think it pays off just yet. But yeah, once again, we'll see. Right now, worker count is about the same for both teams, which is actually pretty bad news for Suomi, right? Because GamerLegion's got ball players already in the fuel age. Meanwhile, Suomi's got only Villese. Who, by the way, will probably end up getting cleaned up over here in water. He's going for fire galleys when TaToH already has a respectable amount of galleys, and fire galleys simply will not suffice. Meanwhile, JorDan's coming forward. He's sending a bunch of villagers over. He's gonna try and get the towers up. Yeah. Well, Ethiopians get extra line of sight, but they do not get any extra range. So yeah, I'm not too sure what he'll be able to do over here. We're gonna keep an eye on this for sure. Villese is going for a defensive tower himself. I guess they're probably just trying to prevent... I guess at this point, JorDan's just trying to prevent Villese from getting a clean full eco game. Getting away with that. So he's just trying to put some pressure to try and prevent Villese from, like, for instance, getting up to the castle edge so much faster, getting to Cavalier, right? And yeah, on the left-hand side, TheMax still wreaking havoc, taking Spearman down and whatnot. Seems like he'll be able to take the TC down, and for sure, TaToH's done a really good job just ignoring this for the most part. He does not want to repair that TC because it's going to be so expensive. He just wants to get enough so that he can get a TC up elsewhere. Same as JorDan over here. Since TheMax will end up pushing, or Villese will end up pushing. Well, yeah, Villese and TheMax will both end up pushing JorDan away. This is really good. I love the communication on Suomi and how Villese ends up getting the defensive tower up over here. And TheMax brings his own villagers over to force JorDan out of here because he's got faster moving villagers. He should be able to get better trades against JorDan. He's already been able to get one villager, for instance. We'll see. At this point in time, GamerLegion's looking a little bit better still. The game is definitely not over for Suomi, as Villese will get to the castle so much faster compared to anybody else. So this pressure from JorDan was not particularly successful at preventing Villese from going up. And once the yellow player is up, we're gonna get access to Cavalier. That's gonna be a fantastic power spike for them, of course. There we go. Yeah, so it's here ready for Villese. Beautiful. And how many stables do we have? He's got only one stable. He's not really going for much of anything. He's got a blacksmith coming up only now, so not even scale bar than armor at this point. But if he'll be playing for economy, wouldn't be surprised to just see him go for extra TCs instead. He can also just go for a castle. He's been collecting stone quite a bit, so we're gonna see Costelier coming out, which are also very, very strong, so he doesn't need to go for Cavalier. Of course, there are several options for Burgundians. Doesn't seem like anybody from GamerLegion will be able to go up to the castle age just yet. Yeah, and Costelier over here will be very, very nice. Very small amount of units can, you know, one-shot so many villagers. GamerLegion fish booming, yes. That keeps them ahead in economy significantly. And it seems like JorDan will be on his way to the castle age very soon. Interestingly enough, being the flank player, he'll be the first to be exposed to the Costelier, but it's gonna take some time. Villese is only going for the castle now. So this might actually give JorDan enough time to get to the castle age. And actually TaToH is using the market right now to go up himself too. It seems like both players should be on their way up very, very soon. With 10 fishing ships, 11 fishing ships over here for JorDan. He's been booming very heavily. Population is so one-sided for GamerLegion right now, with about 50% lead in overall population. Doing that, pushing TheMax away from here as well. And there we go. Castle is gonna be on the way for Jordan alongside TaToH too. And some Pac-Man for Jordy too. Oh yeah. We have a good amount over here for TaToH as well. Once they get to the castle edge, of course, it's going to be so much stronger. I wonder what TheMax's idea was here. I have no idea, but it certainly seemed to involve personifying Ruinsock. For about half an hour though, anyway. There we go. Castle on the way for ball players. Max wanted us to have a fun and interesting game. True showman. Oh, the good old showmanship. Yeah. Castle already up, as is the second TC, and now the third TC is on the way. So Villese will be playing for economy besides Custelier. That is actually really interesting. He could have gone for Cavalier already from more than one stable and stick to one TC, but because the Max game they made the game so hectic and so messy against TaToH and Jordan, instead Villese will try to play for economy, and instead of going for just one stable Cavalier production, going for Custelier is going to be much better because it's going to give you a castle, right? It's going to be a little bit slower, sure, but there is no rush. Only now TaToH's getting to the castle age, and it's going to take a little bit before Jordan gets to the castle age, so yeah, going for economy over here doesn't seem too bad. I'm slightly concerned about Max's position though. He's going up to the fuel age now, but as TaToH's already in the castle age, he's got a siege workshop up. He's got a Magnal coming out, so Max will eventually end up getting pushed away from here. And you know, if Jordan ends up getting some good presence around the right hand side, and he's going for an extra TC over here now again, next to the gold, it might actually not be possible for the Max to bail out of there. And this might just end up as a 2v1 against Villese, so we'll see. For the time being, Villese has been able to keep up with the economy, which is like really good, right? Considering that both GamerLegion players have so many fashion ships. But now the extra TCs coming up for Jordan, second and third TCs, and the second TC already up for TaToH. It shouldn't be possible for Suomi A to keep up with worker count anymore. We'll see. Hey, Chivalry! Hi. Welcome. I think I thanked you for the sub so late the other day, like 4 hours late, but thank you so much, it's appreciated. There we go. Yeah, with the monk over here, TaToH's even gonna be able to hold on against Custelier on his own. Well done. A lot of pikemen as well. I was asleep already. Makes sense. Wheelbarrow. You forgot I was a founder? There you go. Nova AOE. Partially founded by Chivalry. I wonder how many founders we'll still have around. Dan for sure. Denmark, of course, the first person who actually comes to mind as a founder, as he's the longest running sub in the channel. Guess it's coming out for the Max now, finally. Oh, and TaToH got a TC over here. Is he just trying to push the Max away? I think the Max must have not noticed about the TC. Yeah, well played. TaToH gets the conversions. We don't have any Custelier over here for Villese anymore. He does have a bunch on the right hand side, putting pressure against Jordan though. There we go. Yeah, good defense over here for Jordan Whale. I don't know, man. Only now the castle is gonna be here for the max. He's so far behind compared to everybody else for economy. And right now, Suomi is significantly behind compared to GamerLegion in economy. It's not even close. Fantastic position over here for TaToH as well. He'll end up taking the DC down, and now the max is gonna be out on the run. Out on the run. He's got only 31 villagers. Many of these are kind of trapped on the left-hand side, so to say. He's gonna try to go for castles by the looks of it. But this is super rough. This should be game for GamerLegion. I don't see how Suomi is able to keep on going over here. Even if Villese is able to go up to the Imperial Age, for instance, TaToH should be able to go up to the Imperial Age himself. The one thing I do like for Suomi currently is that we have Villese controlling the center gold, and that's where the majority of the gold will be on this map. While if we take a look at resources left, there are only a few gold tiles available over here for GamerLegion to work with. It's going to be about 7,300 left. So it's a good amount of gold to keep on going, and I think it should be enough gold for them to support for them to sustain a push over here and take the castle down, potentially the TC down as well. And here you see the Max's corner base would deny a potential trade route for GamerLegion, but that's consideration for the far future. Right. Yeah, he's getting pushed away from here, but that was actually the case. Yeah. That's a good point. He does end up getting pushed away, but that could have been really good if he had gotten a castle up. I think the plan was sort of sound. Unfortunately, he did not get enough time. He's going for the castle 4 though. Oh boy, I don't know about this, guys. That's a bunch of villagers coming over from TaToH over. He's gonna go for a counter castle drop. Can he actually get this up? This is so unfortunate. This is the second time that we see in the tournament villager pathing actually, yeah, preventing players from getting the castles up. So Max will get the castle up over here so much faster compared to Jordan. Compared to TaToH, sorry. He should be able to deny this one. And that is mostly because TaToH's villagers couldn't get out of the way on time. Wait, the castle's coming up actually. TaToH's just going to send everything. Well, that is good. I guess we should see petards now coming up. Interesting. GamerLegion can trade water. That is technically true, yeah. As a matter of fact, Jordan actually has a dog forward, so they could just go for it if they wanted to, but now that the Max ended up getting pushed away from the corner, GamerLegion could potentially set up trade. I still think though it's much more important for GamerLegion to push Villese away from here, because getting access to actual gold is going to be so much more straightforward than having to set up trade. Especially on land over here, it's not really straightforward for you to set up trade along an entire side, because it's going to be only half the map that you're going to be controlling. Compared to your opponent, you're going to be controlling only 50% of the map. Usually. And I guess it might be possible for them to trade on water, and it seems like it's certainly crossing their minds, because they are trying to get vision of this far end. We'll see. Anyway. GamerLegion just needs to survive. I agree. They've done a pretty good job. Villese will be the first player to get to the Imperial Age, so he'll be going for trebuchets for sure. Meanwhile, TaToH's just going for petards, while the Max is unable to go for them. And, you know, because the Max is already in the Castle Age, there's nothing that Villese can do. Only now that Villese has gotten to the Imperial Age, he can try and sling the Max. Otherwise, it's just going to be each on their own. And with the Max being on 17 or 18 population right now. He doesn't really have the economy to sustain a castle push over here anymore. So well played. It seems like TaToH will end up getting the castle down over here. Yeah, he's getting it. Beautiful. And that means that GamerLegion gets a hold of their own side of the map once again. And as the Imperial gets here for Jordan, we should see trebuchets coming out. Although with Villese having 2 castles over here, should be able to significantly outproduce Jordan. Actually, not only 2 castles, he's got 3 castles. 2 trebuchets. Beautiful. Yeah, it's Villese against the world right now. The Burgundians and or Berbers get heated shot to deny water trade. Berbers get it. Burgundians I actually don't recall, but Berbers get it 100%. They get arrow slits, heated shot, guard tower, bracer, chemistry. So they get fully upgraded guard towers. They are only missing keep for them to be fully upgraded. Actually, that is not correct because I think they only get masonry as opposed to architecture. But for like attack upgrades, they do get it. Burgundians don't, they miss siege engineers and heated shot from the university. Okay. Thank you, Bailo. Imperial's coming out for TaToH right now. Yeah, he's struggling here big time. Going for pikemen. Well done, well defended. The castle's come down already from Jordan though, so Vilese's push is still very strong. Interestingly enough, population is actually higher for TaToH alone compared to Villese currently. And he'll be getting to the Imperial Age very soon. He's playing with Lithuanians. Let's take a look at relic collection. How many relics do we have for TaToH? He's got only 2 relics, but that's going to be enough for him to get up to +4 attack as opposed to only +2, which Lithuanians will get by default. So it's still good. It's going to compensate for the fact that they don't get Blast Furnace, but it's certainly not ideal. Certainly would want to get 3, ideally 4 relics. It's going to end up losing the castle, so we can wave goodbye to the possibility of Lychav army for him. Instead, we're probably just going to see Cavalier Paladin. But yeah, Villese is looking very strong over here. You know, he's got momentum. In any case, if he's able to barrel through, completely clean up Jordan's base over here and start pushing against TaToH, then it could be really, really hard for GamerLegion to hold on. There's also the possibility of Flemish Revolution, yes, because we see plate mail armor coming up over here. And good eye, he's going for all the infantry upgrades and he's not been going for pikemen or anything, so it's quite clear, right? Arson, plate mail armor over here, that's going to be already full defense, and because he's got blast furnace, that's going to be full attack for the Flemish militia as well. So it's actually really, it would be like really strong. I would certainly like for him to keep on going for more villagers so that he can get as close as possible to 200 population, but honestly right now he's so high up, he's 183, it doesn't really matter too much, I guess. Going for a few extra villagers, for a few extra Crystallier, yeah. And he's got to make sure that he's got enough food to keep on queuing the TCs once he goes for Flemish Revolution. He's going for it, man. He's going for it. And he's got it. Bow. Flemish Revolution. Let's go. He's sending everything forward. Very slowly, as you do. But he's sending all the units in. This can be really strong, guys. Send the boys! He's sending in all the boys. Meanwhile, TaToH, well, TaToH's going for a sneaky push over here that I think Villese... How does he know about this? I think this is probably just game sense from him. But here come the boys! Beautiful. Suomi score lead. And military production, and in this case, military count can skew score so much, right? Because TaToH and Jordan have been worrying about the Custilier, they've been going primarily for spearman line units, which means that actually Flemish militia over here will completely destroy Halberdier. It will completely obliterate GamerLegion's defensive army, and we're gonna need something else over here from GamerLegion, but I don't see them going for anything. Ideally, Jordan's gonna want to go for Arbalisters, but right now, he doesn't really have much of a setup. He's got only 2 archer ranges, and I'm honestly not even positive he's got the crossbow upgrade. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even have Balkan arrow, so this could be really good for Suomi, you know? Let's just realize about this. Wataru's gonna start spamming already like cavalry. Do we have any Flemish militia left? On the back? We do have a few, but a very small amount. For the most part, they are all forward. He's got so much to push with. So many Flemish militias plus bombard cannons over here. Wow, unbelievable. GamerLegion struggling to hold on, and they call the GG. Suomi A takes game number 2 to make this a 1-game series. Well, oh dear. What an incredible game over here. What an incredible set. I'm so happy the capture is actually working right now, so it's not going to look like crap when I upload this to YouTube. But yeah, let's take a look at the achievements one more time before jumping into game number 3. We'll see that Villese has got a higher KD ratio over here by quite a bit. Actually, it was very close to 10-3. And yeah, the max, you know what, all things considered, actually managed to get a pretty decent KD, very close to 1-1. Ended up, of course, getting completely pushed out of here in terms of military, for sure. As you can see, he's gone down to 0 very early on. Just losing the scout, of course. Never went for military anymore. But Villese just completely clutched this one up. You take a look at the economy, and Villese was on a league of his own. Sure, Suomi might not have been able to get more resources collected overall, but this is really good for them anyway. Well, Flemish militia, of course, his villager count went down to 0 one moment, but certainly gave them the momentum they needed to seal the deal. So well played. I want to fast forward ever so slightly. So where's Jordan? Yeah, Jordan's got 2 sheep over here. How many does he have total then? Should have 6, right? He's got 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. I have tagged the players already, and I don't know, man.
Yes.
TaToH was asking for a pause, so I imagine they are already aware of it. If they are already aware of it, and they have chosen to continue as opposed to restarting. Yeah, well, not too much we can do about that. I will start with new maps, scan screen every single map, see for bugs. Oh, the pause was due to dog barking. I see. Yeah, I have no idea. I have already tagged the players and they do not seem to be checking Discord, so sorry about that. What is blocked here? There are 2 sheep inaccessible for Jordan. This will definitely qualify as an enemy restart. And now Villese is even laming, dude! This is so much better for Suomi already. And I'm wondering, are the players not paying attention to the Discord? Or are they just choosing to continue? Well, by the time Jordan looks at Discord, he will chop through the sheep. Well, I would imagine somebody, if they notice about the message, would pause the game, and that could potentially be also from Suomi. Well, we are going to keep on going then. But it would be like really bad if GamerLegion lost and then they wanted to restart the game afterwards. Because this being match point already for Suomi. Well, this being match point full stop, of course. Alright. Just gonna keep on trying to catch up, but I think we're probably just going to go 1x. We don't want to miss too much action over here, and as the players already make it to the fuel age, we're gonna start seeing a lot more action as galleys are already coming out. Fire galleys in the case of the Max. And GamerLegion's got standard fire galleys coming out as well from Jordan this time around. And this is a lot more standard compared to what we saw, like, I think it was yesterday. Was it yesterday? It was yesterday, yeah. That we actually saw a very weird mixture of a pocket player for one team going for water and the flank player for the other team going for water as well. Everyone's just going for fire galleys. Meanwhile, the flank players, well, we can see archers coming out already for Villese. We haven't talked about the civilizations too much. Sorry about jumping into the game a little bit later and having to fast forward over here, but technical issues. I gotta find a way to fix this without killing my connection every time. But yeah, for the time being, it's what we get. Beautiful. Demolition Raft coming over. That is a great shot from Jordan. We had Demolition Rafts on the way also for the Max. At this point in time, though, Max got only 2 dogs. Meanwhile, Jordan has been able to keep up. He's got 3 dogs, as a matter of fact. So his production is going to be stronger compared to the Max, especially as he's gotten the better KD up until this point. Or that should be the case. Let's take a look at KD. Yeah. 3-1. That's actually like really one-sided. TaToH instead, though, he's lost 3 units himself. No villagers, though, from what we can see. So probably just some of the archers over here. 2 Vilese's own units, of course. TaToH's got more archers, so he should be alright, even on the left-hand side. Nice push from Villese, pushing some villagers away from wood. It shouldn't be much of an issue. TaToH's just going to pull the villagers out and over to the south. And there we go. Looking really good for Jordan. You know what, guys? I think the sheep over there might not actually make too much of a difference. Jordan does end up getting... Oh, well, it's kind of hard to say, right? But at the very least, he does end up coming out on top. He will end up getting full water control over here. He will end up taking the efficiency down from the Max. And he will end up getting ahead in worker count and in total amount of resources collected. At the very least, compared to the Max over here, for sure. So he managed to make it work. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think if they notice my message that, like, let's say 16 minutes into the game, that they would say, oh yeah, sure, let's restart. Given the position right now, right? Definitely will want to keep on going. Just kind of unfortunate, but they managed to make do, which is great. Emerald Jordan strikes again. He's looking great. The dock's going down very soon for the Max. Then GamerLegion will get full water control, and that makes a huge difference. Not a big one, a huge difference. Because that allows them to keep on going for water over here. And not only is it good for their economy by going for efficiency, but also having full water control over here means that you can potentially send some demolition rafts over and try and control the crossings. After all, we have a limited amount of, you know, crossings over here, down south, and over here we could still potentially see like demolition rafts coming around. Which could be extremely detrimental for Suomi, of course. And that's overall pretty good potential for GamerLegion. Now, both Suomi players are going up to the Castle Age. Jordan should be on his way up very soon. And TaToH should be on his way up very soon. GamerLegion will be still ahead in worker count by quite a bit though. So I don't think the fairly small difference in uptime is going to change too much. Is Suomi a bit weak on water maps? Well, you know, so far it would kind of seem like it, given that they lost the water battle on Costa Giotto and now on Rivulet as well, right? But that might not be the case. It might just be these two games that GamerLegion actually ended up getting control of water. To be fair, in the previous game also, it was Villese against both GamerLegion players. And this time around, it's going to be a 1v1 in which actually Jordan ends up pushing TheMax away. But I wouldn't say that's conclusive at all. I have seen Suomi dominate on water maps before. There we go. Where's the goal on this map? You have some gold available around your starting TCs. It's going to be double TCs per player. And then you have extra gold up the north. It's actually a very nice map that unfortunately didn't really have too much time to introduce, but yeah. Man, GamerLegion, they are doing it. This is so much pressure. Castle Age will be here very soon for Jordan. Will be here very soon for TaToH. In overall population count, GamerLegion is so far ahead compared to Suomi. Yeah, I kind of feel bad because I always talk about this map quite a bit whenever we have it because I love it. It's just so well made. But yeah. Here we go. Castle Age is here for TaToH. And Jordan was already there. He's going for Chain Borrowed Armor. Now, this is what I was talking about. Jordan already has a few Fire Galleys over here. Now, these will not be doing too much. Ideally, he is going to want to use Demolition Rafts. And he does have the Demolition Rafts kind of at hand, just not being able to utilize them just yet. Or to utilize it. And here come the Knights from TheMax. Here come the Crossbows. TaToH's open. But one good engagement over here for GamerLegion could change the game for sure. Let's take a look at resources real quick. TaToH's not collecting any stone. So yeah, what is the plan for GamerLegion? Suomi certainly has got some momentum over here. There we go. Now Jordan's Knights are getting a good surround going against Villese's Archers. If these coastals get cleaned up though, that will be so much better for GamerLegion. That is going to leave them with incredible momentum, and that wasn't even close, guys. That was not even close. That's going to prompt the GG from TheMax and Villese right away. They're not going to want to keep on going anymore. And is this a premature GG? Well, take a look at the economy. It doesn't seem like it was game over just yet. Certainly feels like Suomi could have kept on going a little bit more, but wow, GamerLegion does end up taking game number 3 despite the bug map. Props to them. Let's take a look at the achievements real quick. And yeah, that was like really good for Jordan. That's ended up getting a very close to 6-1 KD ratio. It was 100% GG. Come on, Bailo, you know better by this point. We have seen so much better comebacks than this. It's, I don't know. Well, yeah, we can disagree. Regardless though, it was very well played from GamerLegion over there. It was certainly good momentum for GamerLegion, not saying that it was going to be easy for Suomi to come back, but I don't know, I have seen comebacks from much worse positions than this. And there we are, guys! Welcome everyone! To game number 4. It's going to be finally the first home map for Suomi. And they have chosen to go for Patagonia. If you have not seen this map before, it's actually pretty interesting. We have 2 lakes, one up north one on the left-hand side in this generation. And because it's a nomad star, well, it's really going to be kind of RNG, right, where the players begin a little bit, or it's going to be guided by RNG a little bit. And right now, we can see that TaToH and JorDan are actually getting the TC up on the right-hand side. Meanwhile, TheMax is towards the south, and Villese is all the way up to the north. So, you know, TheMax is kind of left to his own devices in between TaToH and... Not really in between TaToH and JorDan, but very, very close to both these players. Because we have two lakes over here, you're going to have a limited choice of where to go for your docks. And JorDan already has gone for a dock up in the north pond. We're going to see Villese go for it as well. And then on the left-hand side, towards the south, we see that TheMax and TaToH have their own dock. So it's going to be one dock per player, per team. On each dock, on each pond rather. And they'll try to contest it over like this. Now we are well past 4 minutes into the game, so no restarts. Let's take a look at the civilizations real quick. And you know, there's a reason Suomi picked their maps for this. Nomad style maps is because they are really good at it. But given the starting location of the TCs over here, or the, you know, the starting location of the players and the TC locations they have gone for, I'm not really sure this is going to be good enough for Suomi. Taking a look at civilizations real quick, TaToH's playing with Koreans, which means he gets 3 extra line of sight on villagers. He gets 20% faster working stone miners. On top of that, we'll also see for Koreans, let me check. On top of that, we're gonna see for Koreans free tower upgrades, free archer armor upgrades. We also get for them 20% wood discount on military units except for siege weapons. And then for the team bonus, we're gonna have 1 minimum range and Magna line units only. The rules does say that there is a rehost to the sheep are blocked, not necessarily our sheep. Yeah, imagine calling for an admin restart after losing the game. For bug resource for the other team. Yeah. Anyway, that was really clutch actually for GamerLegion. It was going to be really tragic if they lost, of course. Regardless though, we took a look at Koreans. Meanwhile, JorDan's playing with Byzantines themselves, and they are very close together. Now, Byzantines will get 10, 20, 30, and 40% extra HP on buildings depending on the age. We have a Hawk Parade over here. And then on top of that, we'll also see for Byzantines a 25% discount on Skirm, Spear, and Camel Rider line units. As well as a 33% discount to go up to the Imperial Age. 25% faster attacking Fire line units. As well as free town watch, free town patrol, and then for the team bonus, Byzantines will also have 100% faster healing units. Or faster healing monks, rather. Meanwhile, for Suomi instead, we have Lithuanians and Mayans. We had talked about Lithuanians before in the previous game. Mayans, on the other hand, that's a very nice quick goals. Check this out. Well done from JorDan. He'll end up getting Villese as villager for sure. Yeah, well played. Villese can only quick wall himself up over here. He's trying to go. Oh, that was so close! But he couldn't do it. So yeah, it's unlikely he'll be able to break out of here. It's unlikely he'll be able to quick wall himself. I guess he could potentially still try to quick wall, especially after JorDan was paying attention to the palisades over here. Villese could have tried to go for it, but anyway. We had talked about Lithuanians. Mayans instead. For Villese will get 1 extra villager upon getting the TC app, but they start with 50 less resources, 50 less food. They get 10, 20, and 30% cheaper archer units in the field castle and Imperial Ages, and also 15% fast, actually longer lasting resources. As we finish introducing the civilizations though, and the villager goes down for Villese, everyone gets to the fuel age. That means Navy units coming out, and we have fire galleys on the way for JorDan versus fire galleys from Villese. It's a very small pond overall, but it seems like Villese will be able to significantly outproduce JorDan, as JorDan's only on 1 dock. No, he's on 2 docks actually. He's going for the 3rd one, as a matter of fact. He's just kind of separated. He's kind of divided between the left and right hand side docks. We're gonna have both these docks from Villese. Meanwhile, down south, TaToH's going for a sneaky tower behind the TheMax+Villese, which is really good. He's gonna try to get counter tower up himself. Good unit control over here from TaToH as well, trying to block villagers with the donkey. Yeah, but the tower goes up for the Max. So what is TaToH going to do? The Max already realizes about the villager getting out of here. He's going to go for preemptive walls to make sure the villager does not get to the tower base. Yeah, you know what? That's a bunch of extra villagers for TaToH over here. He's brought in. He's getting a villager down. Well played. Oh, he just garrisons the villager at the last second. Meanwhile, the Max saves the villager with 1 HP over here, gets the quick walls, and prevents TaToH from getting the villager down in the end. This is actually really interesting. Can TaToH actually do anything against the villager over here in this position? Because if he tries to out-garrison, yeah, he had to delete the house. Now he's bailing from here. He doesn't lose a single villager, so that's still going to be a very nice KD in terms of economy for TaToH over here against the Max. But of course, we also had the water to worry about, and so far TaToH's been for the most part ignoring it, while the Max already has 3 fire galleys out, and he might actually be able to push TaToH away from here. We'll see. Right hand side, looking pretty good for Jordan. He's got the Demolition Raft over there. He's going right up against the fishing ships. That's so good, and he's got a good one. Ends up chunking a bunch of HP off another one, and he might actually end up cleaning this up. So it doesn't seem like it. Right now, military count's a little bit higher for GamerLegion, but just barely. Yeah, good trade over there for Villese as well. Guys, by the way, here's a question for you. I've actually not really been casting too much Age of Empires since the game got updated. Basically just 2 sets yesterday and this today. So I gotta ask, especially those of you who've been watching players, who've been watching other streams, do you know if the bug fix that they introduced in the latest patch where deleted or units that get destroyed while the projectiles are midway do not affect the damage output of the projectiles anymore? Do you know if that affects Magna deletion? It certainly seems like it should be the case, right? So you shouldn't be able to delete your Magna when attacking uphill anymore and get full damage, for instance. And now the Trebuchet should be fixed. I think Trebuchet already got fixed before, that if they get destroyed, the projectile still deals damage, but anyway. Did TaToH's second tower go up? It's got a tower up here, yes. It's gonna still keep on denying Max's wood line. It's got a good amount of villagers still. Very low HP to be fair. Dia's gonna try to collect some of the deer. And the Max is kind of confined to the south over here. It doesn't seem like he'll be able to do too much. Once again, the start or the location of the TCs over here this time around actually favor GamerLegion quite a bit. And to be fair, there is no way for Suomi to know that. They can only know where they are going for their TCs, but unless they get lucky and like run into the foundation of one of the enemy TCs, it's going to take so long for them to realize just how good of a position this is for GamerLegion that it's going to be already past the restart point. So yeah. It was basically just made for the Magna bug. I remember before, it used to be the case of the Trebuchet, when it got destroyed and the projectile was in the air, it wouldn't deal any damage. And I don't think it was basically just made for the Magna bug, because the Rathas were also affected by it. So the bug fix prevented the projectile damage value to change if the unit destroyed or changed mode types while the projectile was in the air, and that is because the Rathas, which you can change between melee and ranged mode, actually will allow you to switch the projectile damage type in the air. Like if you attack when it's ranged and then you switch it to melee, I'm pretty sure the arrow ends up dealing melee damage. It dealt 1 damage to Trebuchet? Yeah, well that's not good, right? But I think it got, didn't that one get fixed some time ago? So I would imagine the one that got introduced in the latest patch is going to be for the Magnas and Rathas, for both those. And any other unit in the future, of course, that utilizes the same mechanic. Quite a long time ago. Yeah, I thought so. From what I've seen, it works fine. So the change works fine in preventing Magna from dealing full damage, or Magna deletion still works? I would imagine the first one, right? Cancel it's here. Change works fine. Okay, thank you. Village going down for the max. And TaToH's actually being able to get so much damage over here. Good amount of Eagle Warriors though coming over from Villese. He's gonna be the first player from his team to get to the Castle Age. Meanwhile, Jordan, he might be in the Castle Age, but he's gonna be going for crossbows, of course. He's playing with Ethiopians. Actually, with Byzantines. For Siege Workshop, for Monastery. You know, Vilese's gotta engage Beast Mode over here if he wants to get this game back. Especially after he got pushed away from water. Jordan's going to have full water control over here, which is really good. And what can Jordan do over here? He's going for knights. I do like that, of course. It's only going to be useful as long as we don't have any monks into the mix. Jordan Stone, Kata's coming, hopefully. Could be good. Against Mayans, it's a little bit rougher than against Aztecs, for instance, because Mayans, they do get fantastic archers for very cheap that Cataphracts will struggle against, but against Eagle Warriors, that would actually be pretty good. We'll see. For the time being, he's going on stone quite heavily. He's actually on 10 stone minus right now. And, you know, he's on the clock, man. These crosses are going down, and we don't really have too many knights yet for him to work with. So Villese could potentially bring the game back over here for Suomi. For the time being, GamerLegion's looking better, but it could very well change in a few seconds, or in a few minutes even. Beautiful. There we go. The castle's coming up right next to the TC. Well, the Castle Age gets here for TaToH. That's going to be both players from GamerLegion up. Though TaToH is under a lot of pressure over here, will end up losing a lot of villages. That is really rough. Work account right now. It's about the same for both teams. This is a very nice quote-unquote comeback from Suomi. Although Max only now going out to the Castle Age means that they'll probably end up falling behind the villager count once again. We'll see. Yeah, good reaction over here from TaToH as well. Well played. We'll probably end up losing one villager. Yeah. But he does manage to save the majority still. He's got guard tower at this point already, so it's pretty good. Another tower is coming out for TaToH. Yeah, TaToH should be able to defend with the towers just fine. He's done a great job at that. Going for more than just one at a time. Still a good amount of Eagle Warriors over here, and good production coming up still for Villese, but now that we have Cataphract production, Eagle Warriors alone shouldn't really cut it. Nice conversion from Villese, the knight gets pushed away. We have more monks coming over. How long since I've seen Cataphracts? Well, I'm not really sure about you. It's not really been that long since I've seen Cataphracts, and it's actually worked so nicely the last time that I saw them. Against Aztecs specifically, actually. It was pretty good. I'm just having trouble remembering exactly which game it was. Was it? I think it might have been a TaToH duo set from the group stage. Americas, maybe? Villese versus Yo series? Ah, that's gotta be it. What tournament was that for? Was it a show match or something? I think it wasn't that long ago, probably like a month or 2 months, tops. Villese now heavily on stone? Yes, Villese and TheMax. Even TaToH's going for stone, so we're gonna see very soon War Wagons to complement the Cataphracts over here. We're gonna see full archers from Villese, and most likely TheMax going for Lyche, so it's actually going to be quite a special game because of all the special units. The first final one they had, I don't remember which of those was which. The first final they had was the Resurgence, I think. But that's not the one that I'm talking about. I imagine that's the last time that you saw Cataphracts at play. I did not cast Resurgence because there was Terranova duels taking place. And we had the RMS Cup announcement later. And then the second one was actually only bans. But I did not cast either one. Lamb vs. Cata plus 4 wagon must be fun, yeah. For sure. Defensive Siege Workshop's coming up for Jordan over here. And you know what? The Max has done a really good job over here. Keeping up against TaToH, especially when he was under so much pressure. He's on 2 TCs, he's got the castle up. Now TaToH's got 2 TCs himself. Very soon, he'll have a castle as well, I would imagine. Well, he's not collecting stone quite as heavily anymore. But anyway, big engagement coming up, guys. We see some conversions coming up. That's going to be 1 conversion only, but all these units will get cleaned up, including Manuel the Monk. And Vilese's remaining units actually end up getting pushed away, so that was a really good defense for Jordan. Send the Cataphracts over now to try and support TaToH's push over here, and this could be really good. With both these Magnus from TaToH plus Jordan's Cataphracts, we might actually be able to end up pushing the max. They're going. Would definitely like to see some more Magnus coming out, but he cannot really do too much as the Siege Workshop is around the castle. Suomi has a massive eco lead. That is the case right now. You know, the interesting thing is, despite this game actually having looked a little bit better for GamerLegion early on, Suomi, they are just so good at this Nomad style maps, they're able to bring this one back. And assuming that GamerLegion was actually able to clutch it up and take the game against Suomi, now game number 5 is going to be on Suomi's second home map, which is also a Nomad start map, so certainly an uphill battle over here for GamerLegion no matter what. For the time being, they're holding on, but the amount of damage that Villese has been able to do ever since he got to the castle, it's just ridiculous. They were so far behind, and now they are just looking so much stronger. Significantly more eco units by quite a bit. Not quite as many military units anymore. As a matter of fact, Villese is down to only 3 military units and only 5 for the max. So this could provide an opportunity for GamerLegion to get some good damage down, but it's been pretty rough. TaToH's going for a 4 Siege Workshop, so he does not need to keep on sending units around 3,000 miles. But yeah, by the time he gets Siege Workshop out, by the time he gets Magnus out to start pushing the max again, honestly, wouldn't be surprised to see Villese click up to the Imperial Age before the max even loses the first TC. So this is actually starting to look really promising for Suomi. And GamerLegion started to struggle a lot more. The other time is, in my opinion, particularly rough for like Koreans and Byzantines. Their composition here is just so expensive with Cataphracts and maybe Wagons or Siege. Yeah, completely agreed. It seems like right now GamerLegion's gonna have to just full commit to the castle age and try to take this game right now, because they must realize at this point Villese is significantly ahead, especially as Suomi is getting the score lead, right? So if they are unable to suppress the max and potentially take on Villese later in a 2v1 setting, it's going to get so much rougher. Castle's coming out for Villese up north. And there we go. Only 1 Magnal though, not the biggest fan of this. But then again, it's not like TaToH can just magically, you know, spawn Magnals out of thin air. Guy has half the map. Yeah. Kinda reminds me of those Nomad games with White Wolf Palace where Mr. Yo gets an entire corner of the map for himself. And then he's able to just completely beast mode it out. Yeah, and there we go. Imperial Age is on the way for Villese, right? And not a single TC has gone down for the max. This is super rough. GamerLegion, they know exactly what's up. And that's gotta be the most frustrating part. Being kind of powerless against this. Like, you saw this coming. The moment Villese stopped putting pressure. And then you say, okay, we're just going to take on the max, right? if we can suppress one player, then we can maybe take on Villese later. But yeah, that is not the case at all. The Max is losing the TC over here only now. We're in about in a minute and 15 seconds. Villese will be in the Imperial Age already, which means access to Elite Eagle Warriors, which alone are going to be so good. But he's been going for Pull Marches, so we're probably just going to see Elite Pull Marches instead. And that'd actually make a lot more sense, especially if he adds some extra siege into the mix, like trebuchets or even rams. Pull Marches will be so good. Yeah. And there's not too much over here for GamerLegion to do anymore. As a matter of fact, where are the units? Where are the cataphracts? He's gone back. So they took 1 TC from the Max, and that's about it. Now TaToH's gonna keep on pushing in his zone. Yeah, and JorDan actually had to pull the cataphracts to defend himself against the pull marchers. Well, this is really good for Villese, and this is really good for Suomi in general. And the Mayans don't even need to boom all that much. Yeah, they don't need to. But if you have the time and you can get to 120 villagers or so, 110, 120 tops, they're just going to be so hard to stop. Boom, Trebuchet, very good versus Castle Age. Yeah. We have Trebuchets coming out. As a matter of fact, Villese has got the first one already out. And he's got rams coming out. And these are capped ram too, which he's researched very early into the Imperial Age. Can very well go for for Siege Ram, but he doesn't really have the food. So it's going to take some time. Meanwhile, TaToH still keeps on putting pressure over here. Cannot really do too much though. Actually, the Max done a really good job going for guard tower himself. So even though TaToH's got the guard tower upgrade for free, basically the Max is just matching him. And this makes it very hard for Magnus alone to push. Here come the rams. And problem Plume is they only reach 9 attack versus cavalry. That is a problem if your opponent ever gets to cavalier or potentially paladin. And right now, I'm not positive that's going to be the case. Like, we do have JorDan about to hit the Imperial Age for sure, but is he going to go for... Like, cataphracts are not very high pierce armor. And he could potentially go for Cavalier or Paladin, but for Byzantines they're going to be pretty lackluster because of the lack of bloodlines. And yeah, man, it doesn't take too long. That TC goes down right away. He's going to try and transport the churches once again. Can he do it though? I think he might actually be able to. Let's see. Come on. He's not paying attention. Oh, he got it. He got it. He's saving one trebuchet. He's going for the other one. Oh, this is so good from Villese. Well played. That was so close. Yeah, 0 relics right now for anybody. So the max is going up, but he won't really be able to maximize the light chai. Disappointed cataphracts. They're gonna try and unleash the wrath on the Pull Marchers instead. I'm really sure they'll actually be able to. Are these Pull Marcher elite? They are not just yet. Yeah, still a good push from TaToH against the Max, I guess. But the Max already got into the Imperial Age, while TaToH is kind of stuck in the Castle Age over here, and it's looking very rough. It's looking very, very rough. Even if he gets the TC over here, what is that going to do? Max has already gotten out to over 100 villagers. Being in the Imperial Age means that he shouldn't really struggle against these guard towers at all. Yeah, and he's got Light Chair coming out. Coming forward. And the attack run's not going to work over there for TaToH, so the Magnus go down. The Monk's going to go down. Well done. Yeah, well, Cataphracts will suffice against these Plumed Archers for the time being. We'll see El Dorado coming up for Villese. Well, now, I don't know if making a switch to full infantry is going to be the way to go for Villese currently. I feel like Elite Plumed Archer would have been so much stronger, especially as he was going to have the Max's Light Chair to work out of. Yeah, especially as he's going for a full castle, like everything seems to point, everything seems to scream Plumed Archers to Villese. Yet, he's going for El Dorado. That I guess doesn't mean that he's gonna go for Eagle Warriors necessarily, right? He's got a good amount of Plumed Archers queued up, so I guess there's that. Very soon he'll get to 200 population. Would definitely like for Villese to get rid of some of his economy. He was on significantly higher villager count just a moment ago. I'm not really sure if he deleted villagers somewhere or maybe fishing ships. But yeah, he was significantly higher. Now it looks a little bit better. Or did I see this wrong? I might have seen it wrong. Regardless though, the 4th castle is coming up, and the 5th castle is coming up as well. Turtle ship? Oh! Where is it? Right, good catch. Alright. Now at the very least that's going to let TaToH sleep at night. See trams coming over right now as well from Villese. This will be so tough to stop. We have, wow, we have Winged Hussar right now for the Max as well. Thought it was going to be full Light Chair production, but Winged Hussar will do the trick. With a good amount of units over here, he'll be able to hold on, and of course he doesn't need to spend any gold on these. And that's going to be GG. Well guys, Suomi taking game number 4 will get a final score then of 3-1 in the quarterfinals. They'll be moving on to the semifinals, and this is the second and last GamerLegion team left in the tournament. And now of course getting knocked out of here means that we don't have GamerLegion for Terra Nova Duos anymore. The semifinals are going to be GL free. Well, we have Suomi instead. We have we have Wild Wolf Palace. We have Perfect Couple, and we have one quarterfinal still left to be played between Le Baguette and Dragon in Bear's Shadow, who are still trying to schedule and most likely will end up playing either on Monday or Tuesday. But we already have 3 semifinalists, so let's go and take a look at the achievements, and we are getting closer and closer to the great conclusion of the tournament, of course. For this game, GamerLegion actually ended up getting the player with the highest KD ratio. It didn't really matter too much in the end, because especially Vilese's economy was so effective, and units he was going for were so cost effective as well. It didn't really make too much of a difference. If you take a look at the economy over here, for instance, Suomi completely dominated. It was looking very even earlier in the game, but this is really well played from Suomi. Even on a somewhat comparable worker count towards the end of the game still, it was not enough for GamerLegion to catch up and compensate. So 3-1 in favor of Suomi, exactly as I predicted. Yeah, you got it. Let me take a look to see if we had predictions on. I fear we might have had predictions on for game number 2 only, right? Yeah, we did. Yeah, so we missed predictions for 2 games. Game number 2 actually went in favor of Suomi, so let's pay that off too. And let's go back.